Good morning. We're going to get started with the meeting of the Regional Flood Control District. We are hoping to get Mayor Hardy online, but we have a quorum, so we're going to go ahead and get started. Mr. Trelease.
Good morning, Mr. Chair, members of the board. Item 1 is comments by the general public.
This is the first time set aside for public comment, and in wishing to provide public comment with regards to any matters before the Regional Flood Control District, please state your name and please limit your comments to 3 minutes. Seeing none, we'll go ahead and close the first public comment period, and I'll turn it back over to Mr. Trelease.
Item number 2 is action to approve the agenda with deletion of any items. The agenda is in order for approval.
I'll entertain a motion. There's a motion to approve the agenda. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Mr. Trelease.
My attorney is asking me if we want to see if Mayor Hardy is on the line.
Mayor Hardy, are you online? Nope.
Okay.
We're going to proceed then.
We'll move on to item number 3, which is action to approve the minutes of the March 12th, 2026 meeting. The minutes are included in the backup.
I'll entertain a motion. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Mr. Trelease.
Item number 4 is discussion and possible action to reschedule the May 14th, 2026 board meeting or take action as deemed appropriate.
All right, this is just as we do every May to accommodate the
The RTC is rescheduling their meeting of May 14th, 2026 to May 21st, 2026 to hold their budget hearing per NRS. The district's budget is submitted to the state as a component of Clark County's. Therefore, the county will include our budget during their public hearing on May 18th, 2026. Historically, the RTC and RFCD have held their meetings on the same day. Therefore, it is recommended that the RFCD board meetings be rescheduled to May 21st, 2026.
Very good. I'll entertain a motion. There's a motion to reschedule the May 14th board meeting. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries.
Item number 5 is to discuss the general manager's monthly report. So I did want to report on a project completion this month. This is in the city of Henderson. Thank you. Yes, it's in Councilman Seebock's ward, actually. This is a local drainage program project. The local drainage program is a program we started several years ago. Actually, the Citizens Advisory Committee group actually came up with this idea to where we could fund some projects that solve local drainage problems that are near regional facilities. So we allocate funds every year for this program. And this year, as you'll see in the budget, we're budgeting proposed budget of $3.3 million for this program. So this is one of those areas where we build the facility, but it doesn't quite collect the runoff like we want it to. Maybe there's some problems after construction, and that when the city or county notices and they get complaints from the area, they can keep a record of that, and then eventually program some fixes to solve that to get the water to the facility where it needs to go. So in this case, this neighborhood here is a big maintenance issue. There's a channel that was right next to this subdivision, but it just wasn't draining properly. So the city of Henderson came in and said like they wanted to provide this project to collect the runoff in this neighborhood and get it to the channel. So they did that. The program allows for construction funds only from the district. So it was designed by the city of Henderson in-house. It was the construction manager was the City of Henderson as well. The contractor was Tan Construction, and the bid amount was around $745,000. So it's, as you can see from the pictures there on the right, a good project. They had a storm drain with some drop inlets and cleaned that up, that area. And you can see where the very bottom picture in the bottom right is how we're moving the storm drain into the channel, the existing channel there. So now there won't be as much nuisance problems, and hopefully it'll be a lot easier to maintain in this area. So congratulations to the City of Henderson for getting this project done. Happy to answer any questions.
Any questions or comments? Very good. I'll
Okay.
pass back to Mr. Trelease.
Okay, part 2 is the consent agenda. Items 6 through 8 are considered by the Regional Flood Control District to be routine and may be acted upon in one motion if the board so desires.
I'll entertain a motion.
Well, this is Joe Hardy. I would move if you can hear me.
We can hear you, Mayor Hardy. Welcome.
Yes.
Very
Thank
good.
you.
There's a motion to approve the consent agenda. All those in favor?
Aye.
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 Any opposed? Motion carries.
Item 9 is action to approve the fiscal year 2026-27 budget and authorize the general manager to request the Clark County Chief Financial Officer to submit the budget to the state on behalf of the district or take action as deemed appropriate. So we have a presentation prepared for the proposed 2026-27 budget. I will throw it over to Jessica Honor, our RFCD Finance and Budget Director, to provide the presentation.
Good morning, Mr. Chair and members of the board. I am pleased to present the district's proposed budget for fiscal year 2027. The agenda backup includes detailed information that supports the budget. The district's budget includes funds that address operations, facilities maintenance, debt service, and capital projects. The tentative budget is expected to be filed with the Nevada Department of Taxation prior to April 15th, and a final budget will be filed on or before June 1st. As in the past, the budget will be submitted to the state with the Clark County budget submittal. As part of the budget process, historical analysis of sales tax as well as economic projections are made by the district to forecast future revenues. This chart shows sales tax revenue received from inception to date. Over the last 3 years, sales tax revenues in Southern Nevada have reached historical highs, driven by strong economic growth, population increases, and the post-pandemic recovery. However, we are now seeing a correction period reflecting shifts in consumer behavior, global market fluctuations, and changes in fiscal policies. These changes mirror larger economic trends, including inflation and interest rate increases and ongoing economic uncertainties, which are impacting consumer spending. The next slide provides a more detailed view of sales tax focusing on fiscal year 2024 and forward. The gray bars represent actual sales tax revenue for fiscal years 2024 and 2025. The green bars represent our revised estimate for fiscal year 2026 and our projected sales tax for fiscal year 2027. As shown in the chart, for fiscal year 2026, we project sales tax revenues at $160.3 million, a 1.6% increase over the FY25 actuals of $157.8 million. In fiscal year 2027, we anticipate sales tax revenues at $164 million, which is a 2.3% increase over the fiscal year 2026 revised estimate. Resources. In fiscal year 2027, the district resources are estimated to total $169 million as shown in the chart. As this illustration shows, the largest share is the district's primary funding source. This is 1/4 of 1% of Clark County sales tax, which is projected to be $164 million. Additional resources are budgeted at $5 million, which is primarily comprised of interest earnings. Expenditures. In fiscal year 2027, we are requesting expenditure authority in the amount of $583.8 million for all district funds. As shown in the chart, capital projects represents 86% or $500.1 million of total expenditures. This is comprised of nearly $472 million for pay-as-you-go projects, which are funded directly from sales tax revenues, and $28.2 million for existing bond funding. In the 2027 budget, there are no new bond proceeds programmed. Later in the presentation, I will discuss capital project expenditures in more detail. Now, continuing on with the district's total expenditures. Debt service includes principal, interest, and other payments relating to our 5 outstanding bonds. We are requesting debt service expenditure authority in the amount of $46.9 million to meet our debt obligations. For our annual maintenance work program, we are requesting budget authority in the amount of $23 million to provide funding for flood control maintenance. This program is designed to ensure that flood control facilities in the master plan are maintained in a manner that maximizes their useful life and ensures their operation at design capacity during a storm event. While nearly 98% of our expenditures are dedicated to flood control infrastructure, only 2% is programmed for operations, which accounts for salaries, benefits, professional services, services and supplies, and operating capital. We are requesting operating authority in the amount of $13.8 million. This slide further illustrates district operations. It shows a relationship between sales tax revenue, operating expenditures, and the number of full-time employees from fiscal year 2018 through 2025, including a projected view for 2026 and 2027. The blue bars represent sales tax revenue. The gray bars at the bottom of the chart illustrates district operating expenditures, and the white line highlights the number of full-time equivalent employees. While this year's budget does not add any new positions, it does include title adjustments for 2 existing positions. These proposed requests are detailed in your backup. Additionally, operating expenditures will remain at less than 10% of sales tax revenues as they have throughout the district's history. Capital project expenditures. As I mentioned earlier, over $500 million is budgeted for capital projects. This includes both ongoing and future flood control projects and is by far the largest share of total expenditures. Ongoing project commitments for open interlocal contracts are budgeted at $248.1 million, which includes 58 design projects and 15 construction projects. Future projects are budgeted at $252 million, which includes pay-as-you-go resources directly from sales tax revenues, existing bond proceeds, and up to $3.3 million for new local drainage projects. Future projects will be specifically identified and prioritized in the 10-year construction program, which is scheduled to be presented to the board in June. This slide provides a summary of the district's proposed budget. It includes the beginning fund balances, estimated revenues, requested expenditure authority, transfers in and out for each fund, and the ending fund balances. As you can see, the Capital Projects Fund uses zero-based budgeting, where the entire available amount of estimated resources is budgeted for capital expenditures. The budget before you today, if approved, will give the district expenditure authority totaling $583.8 million. Additional details are in your backup. And that concludes my presentation.
Thank you, Ms. Honor. I appreciate all you and your team's work on this.
And if I may say a few words, I'd like to point out the district and the member entities have made great progress over the years in constructing a robust flood control infrastructure in Clark County. This progress has been made possible with the continued support of the board of directors and the public works agencies. The budget before you today will bring us another step closer to completing the flood control master plan and help us achieve our mission to improve the protection of life and property for all of Clark County. The tentative budget is included with the agenda and is available online at regionalflood.org. I would like to give a special thanks to the district's financial team, Jessica Honor and Carol Trujillo, for all their great work on the budget and keeping the district running smoothly and efficiently throughout the year. So happy to answer any questions, or if anyone has additional questions, they can always reach out to the finance personnel anytime. So.
Very good. Any comments or questions? Councilman?
Yeah, thank you so very much. People ask me why I do certain things, right? And I've always considered it a really big honor to be sitting on this board because I remember there as being a kindergartner and even pre-kindergartner back in the old days when, in the early 70s, when we were sitting there tuned to the radio because, of course, there was a blackout during the monsoon season. I don't know if you guys remember that, if you have actually lived here long enough to recall that. But sitting there by the radio wondering where the next flash flood was going to hit and being terrified. I still remember the incredible scene of bravery with one of the Las Vegas firefighters jumping into the Washington Wash there to rescue a guy that had fallen out of a Jeep. I don't know if anyone remembers that. That is seared in my memory. And I think about how far we've come with our city's, the region's leaders coming together to form this board. And I really appreciate everything that this board has done. And I think the financial acumen that your team has shown is remarkable. I do have a couple of questions that are kind of like, though, related to this. What's our bond rating right now, and are we expecting it to actually improve, to keep our bonding capacity at an optimum?
We use counties, when we go out for bonds, we use a county's bond rating. I'm not exactly sure what.
So our bond rating is AA+ right now, and our debt service ratio is 3.5%. So basically, we have 3 to 1 times coverage, even though we're 3.5% to 1 times coverage, even though we're only required 2 to 1.
Remarkable, remarkable. That's a really good way to be a steward of the public trust, quite frankly. Question number 2, I do look back to one of the slides, though, and it looks like our sales tax revenue is projected for 2027. Is there any taking into account, the skyrocketing fuel costs that seem to be hitting everything? I mean, I talked to a couple of retailers yesterday, food retailers. They're telling me they're already going to be ramping up. They're already beginning to have, for instance, produce is shooting up a lot because of transportation costs, right? Are we expecting anything here in the short term, and this as kind of like as a result of really the rising fuel costs? Are we expecting that to affect the sales tax here for 2027?
Yes, I mean, everything can affect sales tax. Obviously, if people are spending more money on fuel, then they're maybe less likely to buy things that that are non-necessities. Certainly, when we're doing this projection, there's a lot of things that could happen, nationally or internationally that could affect our sales tax next year. We think we're pretty conservative right now. Actually, the state of Nevada is estimating a lot more sales tax revenue to the end of this fiscal year, and then less next year. So our 2.3% for next year is really pretty conservative at what we feel at this time. And if that doesn't happen, we have all the tools in our toolbox to adjust to that. If we get slightly less revenue than we expect, we can meter out projects. We can always go out for bonding, as you mentioned earlier. There's lots of things we can do to keep our projects moving. We definitely don't want to stop construction. We don't want to stop designs going. We want to get projects in the ground regardless of how the economy is. But we think we're pretty confident in saying that 2.3% is going to be a good number for us next year.
Okay, thank you. No more questions for me.
All right, then with that, I will entertain a motion to approve.
I will read the recommendation, please. So staff recommends that the board accept this tentative budget as the final budget, and that it be submitted through the Clark County to the state of Nevada.
All right, now I will accept the motion. All right, there's a motion on the floor. All those in favor?
Aye.
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 Any opposed? Motion carries. Congratulations.
Yes, big deal. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, so item number 10 are comments by the general public.
This is the second time set aside for public comment. Anyone wishing to provide public comment with regards to any matters before the Regional Flood Control District, please step forward to the microphone and state your name, and please limit your comments to 3 minutes. Good morning.
Mayor, Justin, best of you, mighty folks. My name is Eric Melchizedek Christ Nimrod. You can find Christ in the Gospels conquering death. Religious people call that day Easter. I call it Victory Day. It just passed. Victory Day. Hey, not Easter Bunny Day. But be it as it may. I understand that my good friend Elon Musk, fellow billionaire, his Boring Company has a lengthy list of violations since 2019, including environmental violations and wastewater dumping into the county manholes. Seems like he wants to turn Las Vegas into Mars, but I don't know if you'll deal with that or not. But slapping on the wrist, the fines that are given the richest man in the world is really nothing. You got to figure out another way of controlling that gentleman. Wakanda forever. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Nimrod. Anyone else wishing to provide public comment? Seeing none, I will go ahead and close the second public comment period, and we are adjourned. We'll get started with Regional Transportation Commission in about 5 minutes. Thank you.